Hi guys, welcome to our channel. If you're new here, my name is Akinyi, and also Benjamin is usually on this channel, but today you're stuck with me. You are going to hear a lot of baby stuff in the background. So anyway, I will title this video "Watch This If You Are Pregnant or If You Are a New Mom," because I feel like there's some things that I went through while I was pregnant and now that I'm a new mom. So there's some things that I feel like you should know. And I used to watch lots of videos like this. I'm moving a lot because I don't want her to touch the wrong thing, because she's now in her moving stage and she wants to move the camera. Anyway, I feel like there's some things that I felt like I needed to know while I was pregnant, and then there are some things that I found out after delivering the baby. Honey, stop. No. All right, so there are some things that I feel like I needed to know before I had the baby. And the first thing that I wanted to know is what kind of clothes I should get for the baby and how many I should get, because every time I watched a video, there was someone who was saying they grow up so quickly. And it's like, okay, they grow up so quickly, so what should I have, especially within the first 3 months of the baby? Because when you go to the stores, 0 to 3 months, there's so many clothes, like so many. This is my advice to you, because now my baby is not 0 to 3 months. If you have a baby within the winter season, you also have to think about that. So you have to think, at what time am I bathing my baby? Is it winter? Is it summer? Is it spring? Is it autumn? Like, when is it? My baby was a winter baby. She was a winter baby, so we had lots of onesies. But I feel like it doesn't matter whether it's summer or winter. I feel like you would need onesies regardless. It's just how heavy the onesie is. I got a lot of clothes for my baby, and I feel like what you need, if we're talking onesies, you probably need 5 or 6 onesies, one for each day. And also, you're not going to be washing the baby every single day. Once you bath the baby, I don't know who does it every day, but for us, we would bath her today, we would skip maybe a day or 2, and then we would bath her the next day. Let me take it back. When you're taking the baby home from the hospital, honey, stop. When you're taking the baby from the hospital, you remember the umbilical cord has been cut? So there's that, and you need to wait for it to dry to fall off. And you can't be dipping the baby inside the water, because that doesn't help with the umbilical cord falling off, and also it risks you having infection on the baby, so you don't want that as well. And so because of that, we were not washing the baby every single day. We were dry bathing the baby, so like taking a cloth and then using that cloth to clean her. So the only thing that would touch water for the most part was her head. And also with that, we washed it once and we just didn't touch it again for some time, so until her umbilical cord fell off. And it fell off, I think, at the 3-week or the 4-week mark. Because of that, my advice is 4 to 5 onesies, just to have one extra one. The one thing you should know is that the clothes for a baby 0 to 3 months, 1 minute they fit, the next minute they don't fit. And also, this is one thing that I had to learn after having a baby. There's something called percentile. Like, a baby is born in the something percentile. So there's a preemie baby, there's a baby that has been born, the baby was full-time, they were born, but either they come out super tiny or they come out super big. So you don't know how your baby is going to come out. You don't know if your baby is going to be long or short. That's why it's very important for you, like especially the first few clothes, don't buy too much, because you don't know if they're going to come out bigger than the clothes or smaller than the clothes. Just buy normal 0 to 3 months, a onesie, and then once you know the percentile your baby is in, it's very easy for you to buy clothes for them. Because there's a baby who's probably there's a baby who baby comes out, they're probably in the 99th percentile. That means it's a bigger baby. Or your 89th percentile, it's like a slightly big baby. Or maybe a 50 percentile baby, that's a small baby. So you don't know where your baby is going to land. That's why the first few clothes, don't overspend buying, because I bought so many clothes for the first few months. You just need a little bit of onesies, because the baby is going to be sleeping anyway. Because the baby is going to be sleeping for the most part, you really don't need too much clothes. I would say the clothes you should probably buy the most are 6 to 9 months, 9 to 12 months, 3 to 6 months. Now 3 to 6 months in moderation, 6 to 9 months, you're gonna spend a lot of time there. And the good thing is that if your baby is bigger, That's why I say 6 to 9 months, probably by a lot more. 9 to 12 months, you're gonna stick around there for some time. Because my baby she is 8 months, but she's still wearing 3 to 6 months. She's still wearing, hi baby, mama. And she's also wearing mostly 6 to 9 months. So that's why I'm saying, that's how I would recommend shopping. I didn't shop like that, but I'm giving you advice. But also, even if you're watching this video and you feel like, you know what, I want to get my baby everything that I feel like is best for the baby, do that. Because when else are you going to do that? When else are you going to say, I got the perfect things, even if I'm overbuying stuff, which I'm not recommending, and I'm not advising you to do that. But for me, I felt like I want to listen to everybody's advice, but I also want to feel like I did my best for the baby, and I did my best to provide everything that I feel like she needed at that time. So there are some things that people say this is not necessary, like one of the things that people said it's not necessary was a wipe warmer. For me, it was so necessary, because I was like, there's no way my baby is going to feel a cold diaper, a cold wipe on her bum bum, and I am nice and warm. Because I know when I take out my makeup with a wipe warmer, I mean with a wet wipe, with a makeup wipe, without warming it up, that thing is cold. And so I was like, if my face, and I get annoyed of it, what about my baby? So I said, no, I'm gonna get a wipe warmer. Thankfully, we were gifted the wipe warmer. So thankfully, somebody gifted it to us, and I didn't have to buy it. So, but I would have bought it. She's dancing. Are you dancing? Are you dancing? Did you hear that, guys? Did you hear a mama in the background? Can I get a mama? I'm gonna blur this part out because she's feeding. If you're pregnant and you have gotten to 37 weeks, now the hospital might tell you that, you know what, you can deliver your baby in 37 weeks. We just need to maybe do for us, we went with a midwife. That's who was our main person. We had a great, amazing midwife, and we told her, I don't want anything invasive, especially towards the end of the pregnancy, and also because I am black, and considering that it is either a black or a brown person here in America that is susceptible to getting a C-section, I really did not want it to get to that point. I will say we had a great midwife, but I had a great God. She was very keen on everything, so we didn't do anything invasive for me throughout the whole pregnancy. Honey, what is it? She really wants the stand. That's what she's crying about. Make sure that you know what you want for your body and for your baby. You need to figure out what you want for your body, and also make sure that you are walking a lot, you're active. Make sure you're active. And also, even if you're active, you're not overactive. So for me, it was every day I would do at least 2 hours of walking every day, and that meant a lot of going to different stores for me because I wanted to see everything baby. So that counted as my workout regimen. There's people who actually go to the gym. I couldn't go to the gym. I'm gonna do the pregnancy afterwards, after this. The next thing is that once the baby is here, you're going to change diapers a lot, especially when they're a little baby. You're going to change diapers a lot because they pee a lot, and also not because they pee, and also you have to make sure that the baby will poop meconium. It's like the fast poop. It's kind of like blackish greenish poop, and once it's very messy. Now for me, thankfully, once the baby was pushed out, well, I pushed the baby out. Once I pushed the baby out, they put the baby on top of me, and the first thing she did was she pooped all that meconium out, and I didn't have to deal with that. So she pooped it out, and they just cleaned it off of my stomach. I could just feel them cleaning it, and that's how the meconium was out. Now for somebody else it might be different. The baby might not be able to poop like instantly. You're going to be cleaning up a lot. I don't know, for us we were changing the diapers a lot, and while you're changing the diaper, the baby could pee on you, could poop on you. She did both on me, she did both on Benjamin. She peed on us, she pooped on us, and for me I was like, oh, baby has pooped on me, I cried. Baby has peed on me, I cried. I was just, every new thing she was doing I was crying. So the next thing, especially after you birth a baby, you're going to be worried if, especially if you're going to be a breastfeeding mom, you're going to be worried if you're producing enough milk for the baby. Now, how to know that you're producing enough milk for the baby is to look at the size of the baby's stomach. When the baby is small, when the baby is born, their stomach size is like so tiny. So it's so tiny that they need maybe 2 sips of your milk. So for me, I was stressing so much, and also because they start cluster feeding. Their stomach is so small, but they're cluster feeding a lot, so you feel like you're not producing enough because they are constantly like suckling your boob, but that's stimulating you to produce more milk as her stomach is growing, or as your baby's stomach is growing. So don't worry about that. But if you feel like you're worried, go to a lactation specialist, because we had to do that. But yeah, make sure you check out the chart of how small or big the baby is. It's very normal to worry about your milk production.
What is it, baby? What is it?
But for us, what helped is that the hospital we birthed the baby at, they had all these advices. They would tell you this is how the baby is gonna be like. The baby's not big, but anyway, as a mom, you kind of worry. But if you feel like your mommy senses are going, you know what, I'm probably not producing more milk, go with your senses. Nobody knows your body as good as you do, and nobody will know your baby as good as you do. So you have to advocate for yourself. You have to advocate for your baby. And when you're birthing your baby at the hospital, you have to advocate for yourself. For me, I had Benjamin and I also had Becky at the hospital, so I had 2 people also advocating for me. So in case of anything, in case they, so I remember one time, advocate for yourself in the sense that, so I'll give you an example. When we got to the hospital, because I was induced, they had to put IV drip on my hand. They put it on my dominant hand, which was my right hand, but they had put it here, and it was so painful. And then I was just sitting there, I was telling Benjamin, I don't know if I can sit with this the whole time, because we don't know when the baby is coming. It's painful. And then Becky was like, they can change it, right? And I was like, they can change it. And then she was like, yeah. So when the nurse came in, she said, we need you to change this to this, where it's going to be very comfortable for her to birth this baby. And they changed it for me. And so Becky was actually advocated for me. And so I realized at the hospital, when the nurses or when the provider comes and does something for you and it's not comfortable for you, you have to advocate for yourself and you have to speak up. Otherwise, you're just going to be in silence when you're suffering in silence. You don't want that. So just be very careful around advocating. If you feel something, once you birth the baby and you feel like something is wrong, you have to advocate for yourself. You cannot be quiet and say, something is off. For us, I was asking everything. Like, she came out with, she was so red. Like, when I birthed the baby, she wasn't brown, she wasn't white, she was red. She was red. And I was like, do they come out this red? So when they put her on me, I was looking at her, I'm like, okay, first of all, you look like Grace in a little bit, but you are so red. So I asked Benjamin, she's so red, why is she so red? Benjamin said, oh, she's okay, maybe that's just, I said, I don't want a maybe, I want an answer. So the nurses were there, and I asked him, my baby is so red and I don't know why she's so red. Why is she so red? Is everything okay? And then so the nurse there said, Caucasian babies are usually born very red. And so maybe she's red because of that. I had never known that. When you watch the movies, the baby comes out already white. So the baby is already seasoned with the environment. It's what didn't clock in my head. Like, this baby that's being used as that's what they told me, and then they say she's gonna get her color in a few days, and I didn't know. For me, I wanted answers for everything. And then so once you birth the baby, they look at your baby everywhere, like everywhere. They look at the private parts, they look at the legs, because they have to make sure that everything looks great and it's working perfect. They look at the mouth, inside the mouth. They look at the nose, they pull out anything, any gunk inside the nose. They open up their arms, they look at the arms. Like they literally looked at everything. For me, it was very overstimulating because this is my baby. She's new. I want her. I want to hold her 24/7. But they're like, we need to check. We need to check. And I'm like, I don't want you to check. I just want my baby. But they needed to do their job as well, so I let them. And then they took some blood from her and she was crying. I was like, please stop piercing my baby. I can't take it anymore. But they needed to do that as well. They needed to test her hearing. They needed to test her sight. They tested everything, and I felt very overstimulated at the hospital. But at that time, because I was also new to this, I felt like they're mistreating my baby. So I was like, do you guys have to do this now? You know, and then they're like, yeah, we have to do it. Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. So, oh my goodness. Are you going to keep doing this to me? Yes, Mama. Yes. We're going to experience that, and if it's your first baby, just take a breath. They need to do their test. They need to you also have to figure out, do you want to vaccinate your baby? Like, are you a vaccinating mommy or a not vaccinating mommy? That's the thing you have to figure out yourself. You have to research all the vaccinations. For us, we decided we're spacing them out. So spaced out. We gave her the eye vaccination. Now I know vaccination is a huge topic, a topic of contention between people and between parents. There are parents who have said they have not vaccinated their babies and their babies came out very perfectly, and there are parents who could swear by vaccinating. For me, I did a lot of research. There are some vaccines we are giving our baby, and then there's some vaccines we are not going to be giving our baby until she's at a certain point of age, because we looked at how you can space them out, because I believe God uses medicine to help people, okay? And I believe you don't also need every medicine, believe it or not. And so for me, I decided, the way we decided, me and Benjamin, I took hours and hours of research on medicine side effects, especially the vaccines, the side effects. The problem with America is that there's so many vaccines that are being given to the baby. Anyway, I have qualms with the American system of vaccinating the baby. In Kenya, it looks very different. That's why for a Kenyan, it's like, yeah, we vaccinate the baby, because it's not the way it's done here in America. So when you hear a Kenyan say they vaccinated their baby, it's because it doesn't look quite the same as the American type of vaccination. The way the timetable of vaccinating looks like, it's completely different. So I had to like look at the Kenyan one, look at the American one, look at what I want for the baby when she's an infant, look at what I want for the baby when she's a toddler, and then look at what I want for the baby when she's between 1 to 5, because you can space out vaccinations, guys. So make sure you do a ton of research. I am not here to tell you whether you should or should not do a vaccination for your baby. That's upon you to decide by yourself as a parent, so that you are deciding what's best for your child. Okay, so that's something you're going to have to decide on. If you're having a boy, you're going to have to decide whether you're going to circumcise the baby or if you're going to leave the baby uncircumcised. That is also another point of contention, especially here in America. I do not know about Kenya, because I know there are some communities in Kenya that don't particularly circumcise their children, although right now it has really drastically changed. I think most Kenyans are circumcising their boys. So anyway, you have to decide what is good for your child and what is not good for your child. And also, I will say this, everything that has to do with your child getting a needle, or it's going to be very hard as a parent to see that. For me, little piercing for the leg, it was very painful for me. You have to make very big grown-up decisions. You have to make grown-up decisions, and you have to do research that what is good for your baby and what isn't good for your baby. So if you're having a boy, go and research everything that has to do with circumcision. I wasn't having a boy, so I didn't do a lot of research on that, so I can't give you an advice. There's one thing that really helped me when I was pregnant, and it's on YouTube. I used to watch it a lot, so that every single week or month I knew what to expect. So I think it was every month, and the video used to end with, "You're gonna be a great mom." I used to love hearing that. Like every day Benjamin would come home, he would just be hearing, "You're gonna be a great mom," because every month is different. Every month you feel the baby kicking, you know, every month you feel like differences, your body changing and your breasts changing and hair growing everywhere. I will link it in the description box below, so make sure you check it out. I used to watch it a lot. It's called One Born Every Minute. I watched that a lot. It helped me prepare for pushing. It helped me, like, because I was, you know, when you think at some point you have to push the baby out. So you have to be in that mindset that you have to push the baby out. Whether you're going to use a epidural or not, you have to push the baby out. And because I was a new mom, I wanted to know, like, what is it like when someone doesn't use an epidural, and what is it like when somebody uses an epidural? What is it like when somebody uses an inhaling, that, I think it's oxygen, when you use that, like, or the laughing gas, I don't know which one it is. But what is it like? And so I was watching people while they give birth, while they're going through their labor. It's called One Born Every Minute. If I can find a link for it, I will link it in the description box. So, but if I can't, just try and find it, maybe in your country. I don't know how you'll find it, but yeah, it was very helpful with me. The next thing you will need to know is breathing. How do you breathe? Breathing really helped me. Like, breathing classes, even if you don't have enough money to pay for breathing, like going to learn breathing classes, find breathing classes on YouTube. You have some that will tell you this is how you breathe. There's some doctors, I watched some great doctors teaching, like, doctors and midwives teaching you how to breathe in and out, how to take in a deep breath, especially if you're going to deliver without any medication. You need to know how to breathe in and out when you're having that ring of fire. The ring of fire is when the baby's head is coming out and when the baby's shoulders are coming out. Those are the most painful parts of pushing out a baby. So you need to know that. And also, the more the contractions get smaller, the more the pain you experience. So you need to know how to breathe through that. So yeah, find that out. If there's one thing you should come out with from this, if you're pregnant and you're about to birth your baby, learn the breathing exercises. And also, while pushing the baby, you will also have to learn how to breathe pushing the baby, because you don't push a baby just pushing a baby. It's kind of like pooping, like the muscles you use while pooping. That's how you push out a baby. I pushed 3 times and she was out, because I learned the pushing. Because the first time I did it, they were like, "You're not pushing correctly." So I was like, now I know the difference. And then I pushed 3 times and she was out. So yeah, guys, just learn how to breathe, and also how you are going to push out that baby, because it's an ordeal. Other thing, if you're going to be induced, I don't know if it's the same for someone who has gone to the hospital while they're actually in active labor. For me, I was induced. Induction is not like you will go today and then you birth the baby today. You don't know when the baby is coming. So you can be induced today and birth the baby 3 days later. Or you can be induced today and birth the baby today. So when you're having induction, prepare for a long birth. When you're getting induced, I would say prepare that you're going to be in labor for a long time. Just prepare food. Prepare what you're going to snack on, what your husband or your partner is going to snack on. Or if you've gone with, like, prepare something that is going to keep you there for quite some time. So just if the camera is shaking, it's because she's holding, and I'm trying to hold it with my foot. Trying to hold the stand with my foot. But yeah, just be prepared for a long induction. It could be short, it could be long. And also if there's one thing you should know, is also the fact that you're not going to leave the hospital the same day. I think there are hospitals that do that, but the one I was in, so they have to make sure the baby poops the first poop. Honey, stop. They have to make sure that the baby poops the first poop, and also they have to make sure that you pee your first pee, especially that you know you pee. I think also you pee, because they know after you bath the baby, pooping for you is going to take a couple, maybe a couple of days or a couple of hours. I don't know. So have that in mind. What else? Stop, Miss Hannah, that's painful. The other thing you should know is that for you, it's your first time bathing a baby. For the hospital people, the nurses, the doctors, the midwife, it's not the first time for them. You're just another patient. It's unfortunate to say that, but that's what it is. You're just another patient, and because you're just another patient, you have to advocate for yourself, because you're also probably not the only person they are attending to on that particular day. Okay, once you bath the baby, you're going to be sore. You're going to be very, very sore. You're going to need a bidet thingy. The one I got, the bidet thingy is called why am I forgetting the name? I'll put the name on the screen. The one I used was Lancino, and it's very great. Also, I recommend using warm water. For me, using warm water was very therapeutic for me. I felt a little less pain. Also, when I bathed my baby, I didn't tear, but I was very, very sore. Everything is sore. Okay, so you need some warm water. You need something nice, something hot. If you did tear, my mom told me if you tear, you just take like super hot water and then you burn that area. Like, not burn, like it's hot water, but you're tapping that area to help it heal quickly. I don't know, but that's what she recommended. That's how they had been doing it for years, so I wasn't going to be the first one who did that. Anyway, so yeah, I think that is it for if you're pregnant, if you bath the baby. Now let's go through my process, because I feel like I'm probably going to make this video into 2 parts. If you're breastfeeding your baby and you get to 5 to 6 weeks of breastfeeding, at 5 to 6 weeks mark, the baby stops pooping for some reason. Like, they will poop today, 1, 2, 3 days or 4 days they won't poop, and then the 5th day it will just be like a poop. We didn't get like a major blowout, but she would poop. But so that shouldn't shock you, so to speak. So if she gets to a point, or if your baby gets to, and I'm talking about breastfed baby, I don't know about formula fed baby, I'm just talking about my experience with my breastfed baby. When we got to 5 weeks and 5 to 6 weeks, she just stopped pooping. Like, it was I was like, where's the poop? I was getting worried. I was really worried. My mom was like, you know what, sometimes they don't poop at that point. And I was like, Mom, but we poop every day. She's eating every day. Where is it going? And then a blowout. So expect that. Also, once you bath your baby, a newborn baby, their fat smells so bad, especially if they're breastfed. I don't know about a formula fed baby, so this is for me, my experience with my baby. Her farts were lethal. Like, I would smell it, I was like, did that come out from you? And then they started getting better. Like, right now sometimes she will fart and I wouldn't even smell it, but when they're a newborn baby, I don't know what it is. It's that 1 week that's fat. I think that first 2 weeks the farts are they're horrible, and they fart a lot. So have that in mind. The other thing that really surprised me is the grunting. Like, the baby will go it's like, Why? And they keep doing it over and over again, especially while they're sleeping. They grunt a lot. I don't know why, but for me that was like peaceful, because it was peaceful because now I know that she's okay. But I was just like, why are you grunting? Are you pooping? Are you trying to, what is it you're doing? But yeah, they grunt a lot. So because of that, I was googling a lot. I was googling, like, Google was my friend. And make, you know, yes and no, because as a new mom you have to kind of like figure out, is this normal for my baby to be doing at this time? So, you know, if you're googling right now and you're googling a lot of things, you're a good mom. You're gonna be a great mom, because you have to make sure that everything about your body, about the baby, is fine. So once you birth the baby, you have questions about you and the baby. You down there and the baby, you producing milk and the baby doing something new and you don't know. You Google it and you either find out it's normal or it's not normal. So yeah, you're going to be googling a lot. Again, I will say this: when you have your baby and your baby is new, time feels like it's slowing down, and also feels like it's really fast at the same time. It feels like the day just came and went, but also it feels like the day is a long day, and you don't know what to do with this day, because all you're doing is baby, 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 baby. Now, I don't know if it's the same for a mommy who has 2 kids, or you already have, like, you already are on survival mode. If a mom of 2 is already on survival mode, that they know how to compartmentalize having 2 kids, but for baby 1, it feels like you have 4 kids. I'm not gonna lie. While you're pregnant, your emotions are going to be all over the place. When you have birthed the baby, it doesn't change instantly, because you're still going, like, your estrogen level is changing, everything has changed about your body, but your body is also, honey, you're going to fall. Just remember to give your body a lot of grace, and also give your emotions a lot of grace, because you're going through it and you need a great support system. So there's one thing that I felt a lot. I felt like I had lost a part of myself, but I also felt like I gained a lot at the same time. And I don't know how to explain that, but you feel like there's a part of you that is lost. I don't know how to explain it, guys. Honey. Guys, I'm so sorry. If this video is shaky, it's because I don't know what else to do to make her happy. I felt that for some time, and then it disappeared. Sometimes I would feel like I missed my pregnancy, like my pregnant self, but I was also very tired. Towards the end of the pregnancy, I was very tired. The part that I was missing the most is like feeling the baby kicking. But yeah, you feel like there's a part of you that you have kind of lost, and then but for me, I would pray about it. For me, I would pray about it. I would pray about every feeling that I am feeling that is foreign. Like anything that I felt like this feeling is not, you just might feel like that. And if you do feel like that, either pray about it. That's the best advice I can give you. For me, I include God in everything. I don't know what you do, but for me, it's God. So, and He always helps me deal with stuff. Now, the other thing that I felt like, wow, this is new to me. When the baby is eating, you will feel the milk physically. Like you will physically feel it coming in. And you feel the milk going into her mouth. Like, you know, I had never felt this in my life so vividly. Until I started breastfeeding. So yeah, you kind of feel the milk coming in and flowing through and building up and all of that stuff. Yeah, especially when it's a lot of it, you feel it like going towards the nipple. I cannot explain that, but that's how you feel. After you birth the baby, with each month the naps will feel shorter. Like their naps will feel like they're getting shorter, because for us, I would feed her every 2 hours, and then she would go back to sleep. Then suddenly she was up 3 hours. I was like, what are you doing? Why are you up 3 hours? And suddenly she was up 4 hours, and I'm like, why? What are we doing? What are we doing this 3 hours? Like, but you have to kind of maneuver your way around it. So have a plan around like your wake windows, what you're going to do with the baby, how you're going to do tummy time, if you're going to do tummy time, how you're going to engage the baby. So figure something out that works for you. So yeah, you will experience that. and then there is one thing that really shocked me though when I bathed the baby and I was feeding the baby. One time she fed and then she threw up milk through her mouth and her nose simultaneously. This is her stand, so I'm trying to give her something because she wants this stand, and I'm trying to make her realize they're the same thing. So I think my advice for that is make sure you don't let the baby overindulge in taking too much milk that they're now throwing up everything that they've taken. So that really freaks me out. The other thing you should invest on is a good nail clipper, because I don't know what's up with babies, but their nails grow so fast. Like, even up to now, I'm still cutting her nails like almost every 2 days. They just grow. When they're little, they will hiccup a lot. How I was dealing with the hiccups is I was feeding her and then the hiccups would go, but then they would come back again. My mom would tell me that, don't worry, the hiccups are making her stomach grow bigger. So maybe sometimes they will cry in their sleep. Don't wake them up. It's just like they're active sleeping, and just go with the flow. If they're up, they'll probably cry more. The one thing that I remember feeling and still do is that you will feel like the whole world is in your hands. Like, and also you want to give the baby the whole world. Like, if you could give her everything in this life. And that is such a special feeling for me. I love feeling like that. You'll also love to hold your baby's hand, like, you know, like their little hand wrapped around your finger. It's so beautiful. It's like there's nothing like it. I have an advice for you. If you are pregnant and you're wondering, should I do the maternity pictures? Do the pictures. You're never going to have that pregnancy again. So do the maternity pictures. It's worth it. It's worth every penny. Should I do the newborn pictures? Do the pictures, because you're gonna miss the little version of them, and those pictures are what is going to remind you of the baby. Do the newborn pictures. Do the maternity pictures. It's all worth it. I wrote, hold your baby, hug your baby, kiss your baby. Look at the nooks and crannies of your baby. You're not crazy, you're just a detailed mother. And you're doing amazing. Because for me, I look at everything. Like, I will lift her armpit and look at the armpit. I'll do everything. Like, I'll look at her back. I'll look at all those little things. Just so that if today she looks different or something changes, I know this wasn't here yesterday, So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're a new mama, congratulations on your new baby. If you're pregnant and you're watching this, congratulations on your pregnancy. I'm praying that you birth a healthy baby. I am praying that your pregnancy is amazing through and through. I would love to hear from you guys. Comment down below. And also, if you have been pregnant before and there's something that I have missed that you have watched and you're like, Akinyi, you probably missed this, comment down below. Encourage every new mama who's watching a video. Alright, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, click on the bell notification button so that you're notified every time we upload a new video. And let's just meet in the comment section, guys.